Now, one of the really key points you say in the book is that we have to make the reader care about our story. How do we actually do that?
That has to do with writing really sympathetic characters, and that's not just nice characters, but characters who have really powerful internal conflict, needing two things that are mutually incompatible and needing them desperately. And so then you set your story up to where your climax is going to be the point where they have to choose between those two things, and they think they can't. And so the whole story is how they satisfy one need, and then they satisfy the other. And every time they do this, they get themselves in trouble with the opposite need. And this way you bounce them back and forth through your whole story until you reach a point where they can't bounce anymore. And that bouncing back and forth between your intense needs is a very human thing. And the more powerful you make the needs, and the more important you make them, the more the reader can identify with your characters and can say, oh yes, I know exactly how that feels. I too am torn between wanting to be loved and wanting to survive, or wanting to see justice done in the world, and wanting to not get killed by the people who were perpetuating this injustice. Those are some of the very basic conflicts that writers use over and over and over again because they are so intrinsic to being alive and to life. And the more you plug into those, the more powerfully your reader will identify with your characters, and the more impossible the situations you put your characters into, the more the reader will be going, oh, but they have to make it, because I want to know how to make it. And that's what makes them keep reading.
Now, I've just recently written on my blog about the problems of writing a series and continuity stuff, and you focus on the character arc within a book. Now, I wanted to ask you about what your opinion is on character arc across a series, because if you're planning a long series like Patricia Cornwell or whatever, you can't have these big character arcs in every book. So, what do you recommend on that?
Well, to a certain extent, the big names who write series are kind of sort of cheating because their characters don't really go from a big character arc through life like we all do. But what you do when you create that kind of character is you create somebody who is so complex and deep inside that they have very powerful needs, and maybe they have more than one pair that conflict. So you can address one conflict in one book and another in another. Now, a lot of the series protagonists that you'll see in the big names, they have the same one, like thrillers. They need to see justice done. They need not to get killed. And that is the same need they grapple with in thriller after thriller after thriller. And if you make this very true to this character, and you make it, excuse me, and you make it something that can be played out in complex ways in different relationships, then you can keep revisiting those needs, and you can create little subplots so that they have other needs pulling at them. But it's all about the characters' conflicting needs. So the trick to a series is to have a character you can really get into, who's really deep, who you really feel interested in continuing to explore and continuing to get deeper and deeper into who this person is and why they can never come to peace. Because we can't. I mean, you keep living and things keep happening to you. And so your reader identifies with that. Every time you think you've got it all sorted out, the next thing you know, you're in the next story. You didn't have it sorted out. Something else has happened, and life continues to drive you crazy.